Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Satisfactory and we are, well, building a lot lately. And for now, I remembered something just before this episode is that, well, I want to do the next thing. And what will I pick? And I was thinking like, well, we have quartz that we haven't done a lot with. We just have the parts we needed to make glass, but that's about it. And then I was thinking, what could we make? So I went to the parts menu all the way down and said, hey, well, we got AI limiters, which we can make. We have the resources for that. And crystal oscillators. And I saw, 3 slotted machines. Yeah, we need manufacturers. And we saw that with the fluctuator, we also needed that. So I was thinking, we need to unlock the next stage in order to get that machine so we can start building that. And then I realized I hadn't done any of that. So the 3 parts, I hadn't even started making them. So as the last episode ended, I made 3 of these blocks of machines, which I've made before, and basically hand fed the resources to make what we needed. One part I already put into the elevator and the rest is done here as well. So the only thing we have to do right now is to unlock the next few tiers, just to put all of this in. But as you realized, these things are not made quickly. So as we were waiting, I was, let's just say, playing around with the architecture of the factory we completed on the last one. And I finalized the outer shell of the factory. The machines, they're all in the same place, conveyor belts and all that stuff, but the rest, I made an idea of how I want it to look. So let's unlock the next tier and all that, and then we're gonna have like a slight tour on what we've made in between the episodes, because I'm, to be honest, very happy with that. Okay, that's that. So much easier to get in here than making it. Yes, I calculated it correctly. Precisely perfect. Alright, let's seal this thing. And let's get ready to send it all to the top. Unlock tier 5 and 6.
Welcome to the Project Assembly Pioneer Progress presentation. Congratulations, the Phase 2 project part shipment is now ready for delivery. On delivery, Phase 2 will be completed and the construction dock will be constructed. After completion of Phase 2, the technologies of Tiers 5 and 6 will become available in the hub. These might feel intimidating after your previous experience, but rest assured that you would not be here if you were entirely incompetent. Highlights are oil production, railway transportation, the jetpack, and many more. Completing Phase 3 of Project Assembly is your next main objective. Just remember to focus on producing and delivering the project parts, and Fixit's faith in you will be strengthened.
Yeah, awesome. We got our next fuel source for our next power generation, which will leap us forward tremendously. We got railroads, the one thing I so failed during my first season. I want to implement it here properly. At least, if not for anything else, a track around the world that we can use for transport. If we can use it for goods, even better. But I want to at least implement it in a way that I can actually use it. So that's a challenge for us this time. For now, let's send it. Alright, let's go back. I want to see it go up.
Phase 2 of project assembly completed. You have been performing more adequately under pressure and are closer than ever to saving the day. Perhaps you were the right choice for the job. Time will tell. You will now enter Phase 3 of project assembly. Continue as you are, and there should be no issue. For humanity. For Fix-It.
Perfect. It looks so much better with that addition. You can even see trains moving and everything. I've never got to the next phase, completed this one. I want to see how it looks like. It's gonna be amazing, I'm sure. Even with everything else unlocked. I'm gonna keep those machines there. Just if we want to, well, like early preparations for components, like at least some part of it. Oh yeah. I haven't shown you guys this, have we? Yeah, it's a celebration because apparently it's a year after the release of 1.0, so the game's been officially out for a year. Time goes really fast, doesn't it? And Hadria is definitely enjoying it with a cup of tea on the dance floor after dancing all night last night. Alright. Got toted with a leaky tongue in the back, which is disturbing in more ways than one. Especially considering with...
I can confirm that flushing the toilet is indeed one among many possible actions you can choose to perform.
Yeah, basically it would wet the entire seat with fabric, getting soggy. That's really bad, isn't it? But yeah, we're not here to party, we're here to work, because we got a factory to build, and we've got a lot to unlock. So, if we go after what we have right now, we have 2 left of the older ones, so they haven't done anything with. Mainly because hybrid tubes, if I'm gonna make a train, where do I want to use it for? I will implement it, but that's still a question I'm asking myself. Blueprints is designer Mark 1, which I assume is then going to be like a smaller version of everything. So yeah, but where we definitely did it for is the next 2 tiers. So we're gonna learn with that jetpack, which is gonna be amazing because it means that it's easier for me to get around buildings instead of making letters everywhere. We can fly between them, making it a lot more versatile. Oil processing. We could actually process oil in making plastic, rubber, and of course fuel for power, which is amazing. This opens up so much for us. Then of course the next stage of conveyor belts, which is Mark 4, making things faster, which will help with the sink at our new factory location. Then we got fluid packaging, so we can make all the liquids from fuel and other stuff, put them in something and transport them, put them in boxes and storing it and using it in any which way or form that we want to. Petroleum power. Yes, there it is, the power source for fuel. So everything here is going to be very useful, but we have to do it in stages. First we need to make sure we have a line ready for plastic and rubber. Then we can start thinking about getting ready the fuel power generator. So at first I want to go to a location where we have oil. I have 2 places in my mind, have to decide which one of the 2 I want to use for what. And then start making rubber and plastic. Just make sure that we have those 2. The rest can wait, because once we have those 2 things we can unlock basically everything on this tier, which we want, because there's nothing here that's not useful. But then we can focus on tier 6 with the added fuel generation. We will have so much power that we can probably provide with most of our builds at tier 6, and that's when we're going to start unlocking like monorail train technology, signaling, extra pipes, and all useful, and a bigger blueprint design. I think this will be the size that we want to go for, because like I said before, I like our buggy. I want to have it, I want to use it, so that means I want to have roads leading to every part of our factory. All factories we have. Same thing with the trains. So we can get around, and then we can choose which one we want. We want to do the hypertube, do we want a train, do we want a road, do we want them all combined or all their own separate system? That's something I want to have a think about. Then of course, this. For this big old machine, the manufacturer. I just realized I think I have unlocked say 7 and 8 because I thought aluminum was going to be tier 6, but it's going to be here, isn't it? So yes, we still have one more tier to overcome before we get there, which let's hope we can do it quicker than the ones we have right now. So lots to unlock. This one we can do, this one we can do, and here's where we're gonna start needing to use the other parts. Okay, so, and of course these two, even if just for aesthetic purposes, it needs to be processed. Alright. So, before we're gonna start doing that, I want to do the torting, because I think when unlocking we're just gonna cut out the resource collecting and just unlock it stage by stage. Alright, as you can see, that's the building we've seen so far, which is now technically fully closed up as well. And I'm going to see if I can get to the middle of it and use photo mode to look around it real nicely. So, as you can see, I walled off all the sides, cut off the fat, so to speak, that we didn't need to use. Used the nice old poles for the corners to make them all nice and rounded. Put the... oh wait, this one I can remove now. Not doing anything. Anything unnecessary we'll just remove. And the only thing is open is this, because I want to have a staircase that will lead up to here, that we can have a look around everywhere. That's the only thing I have to look on for this. But the biggest change is... oh! Yes, do you see this? I came up with this and I thought it looked really nice. Poles to hold up our conveyor belt to look a little bit better than just simple metal struts. So I took my stackable conveyor poles, combined it with a round concrete, and made these really nice looking poles. I'm really happy with that. It works and looks very nicely. So let's see if we can stand in the middle, because we have a lot of things to view. As you can see, I've removed a lot of the flooring, bringing green back into a factory, making it a little bit more back to nature. I think that works very nicely. Alright, let's go have a look around. And as you can see, it is all like closed off now, except this part. This part still needs, because we need a manufacturer to do our SAM factory, so that's why that is being left alone. But as you can see, I've created boxes to go around the miners, and I made it well, a certain type that would work on any location. So we have one specific style for it. Here we have our, well, storage facility, which I decided to go with this, like just opening, and you can see here that we have an elevator going up. That's just to show you how it will look like once we have our dimensional boxes. And on top of it, we're going to have signs that will say what's actually in every single box of them. And I played around a little bit with the shape. I think this is really nice. And a little bump on top was added because we needed something extra to cover up the boxes. Because if we place our dimensional box on top of here, that little bump will hide it from the rest of the world. And of course we made holes into the ceiling just to make sure that it looked all nice as well. And if you go back here, and of course another box, we have here our sink facility, where everything is going, but is full. Go in there and gather us a point, and we have gathered a lot of points already, which helped me unlock some of the other things that we can get to play around with, which I hope to use in the coming episodes. Here, of course, we have our back entrance to the place. The, let's say, surface entrance. So if you go in here, you can go inside the factory. This part is all locked behind a wall. You might want to place a few boxes in there just to make it a little bit more lifting. Because the door on the other side is more for viewing purposes of what's inside and if everything is working. Everything is working quite nicely. And there we go. I connected the two factories together, making it one specific building. I made two gigantic pillars to hold up the overarching ways. I think that works quite nicely, and I played around a little bit with the flooring just to make sure that the hole that's underneath it that leads to our SAM cave is covered up, so no one can accidentally fall into it. Also here, some more poles to hold up the conveyor belts leading inside the building. Let's see how far the camera will take me. There you see another pole at that end as well. And here you can see a kind of a bump underneath it. You might think that's a weird choice to connect the two buildings. But if we go inside, if we are allowed, we can go up the stairs and you can see a stairway that will lead into the other part of the factory as well. And of course we are going to deck this out with lights if we unlock it, with some rails so we don't fall back into the lower flooring. And everything is working very, very nicely. Alright, let's find our exit. We're going to throw our exit on the other side. Which of course have a nice little fan there because we have our smelters pumping a lot of gas into the factory. I thought that would be a nice place to put one. And I'm thinking of where can we put one on that factory as well, because of the exact same reasons. As you can see here, also cordoned off all the sides, making it a bit more neat. And made that one over there doing in the same design, a little bit bigger but still the same design of a box. So that's perfect. And that's what we have done so far. I think it cleaned up really nicely. And we have a few parts walking towards the factory. I want one that still goes all the way to the end, but I want to wait till we have our SAM factory there so we know what kind of room we are playing with. Because maybe on this side, when the factory's done, I will put in road for our buggy to go around. Because it needs to be here at this factory as well. So maybe add it towards this line and maybe over there to the end. I haven't thought about that just yet. For now, let's just start collecting some materials for our first, well, fix-it blueprints. Because we have a few things we want to unlock before we continue on with this. So let's start unlocking it, shall we? Alright, I've gathered up some access resources. Hopefully I can finish off more than just one before I have to pick more up. But let's put this in here. Our first fix-it blueprints.
Milestone reached. Blueprints reduce repetitive building tasks, further optimizing your progression towards saving Earth, with its beautiful ecosystems, abundant natural resources, and sunsets over frolicking puppies and kittens. The blueprint designer allows you to build and combine structures once and then duplicate that configuration effortlessly. Any complaints about the spatial restrictions will only reveal your own inefficiencies.
Yes. And I was worried about getting resources, but I almost forgot it takes time for the pod to get back. And we are at the point that it's minutes and no longer seconds. Right, select the hybrid tube. Yes, this should do nicely for our stuff. Ooh, 1,000 wire and 1,000 plates. Okay, while we are waiting, let's pick up. And maybe I'll unlock the jetpack and oil processing first. Because then I can start like looking around for hard drives, making better recipes for the things we have here. If there are any, of course. But first, let us get some resource for this, and I'll see you back in, well, 3 minutes. Ooh, yeah. Is it going back? Yeah, there it is. I thought I heard something explode in the atmosphere. Right. Next one. The old processing.
Milestone reached. Crude oil can now be extracted and refined to produce various industrially beneficial parts. The byproducts of these processes will require careful management, but a capable pioneer such as yourself surely understands that. To improve efficiency, pipelines can now be optimized with valves to limit and balance their throughput. These were initially left out because Fixit did not want to overwhelm pioneers with complex pipeline management, but they have since been re-added after my impassioned defense of your capabilities.
Alright, and it's off. Alright, so it is unlocked now. We have sent the materials up. Since we are waiting 10 minutes, I think I might look around this area to see if I can find some nice hard drives and all, just to start working on alternative recipes for rubber and plastic. If there is a better one, I want to find it, I want to use it. And let's be honest, there are still one or two that I want to use for rebuilding this. One of them is foundries that do, well, copper and iron, of course. So that's what we're gonna have to look out for. So I will see you when this thing comes back in a bit. Alright, it's back, and to be honest, it's been back for a while. I've been out there hunting down some hard drives, and I found a couple, including some summer sloops and Mercer-spheres. So we got more things to unlock than just our milestones. So let's focus on that a little bit more for today. Send out a hyper tube to finish off that section. We have to watch it go away, don't we?
By adding hypertube entrances at both ends of hypertubes, pioneers can achieve two-way travel between locations. They are also % safer than jump pads. You dreamed of moving across factories like valued resources, such as rocks and water, and Fixit listened to your dreams. We watched them. We took extensive notes. Hypertubes. Because Fixit makes pioneers' closely monitored dreams come true.
Not disturbing at all. Monitoring our closest dreams. Yes. Well, that would put the fear in them. And the tier 4 is still going. Well, it's fine. Everything is cut off the list, like everything before. So let's start continuing on with 5. And I was looking. I want this one too. Just takes a lot of plastic, doesn't it? Alright, so let's open up our jetpacks. Because I do think, I don't know for sure yet, I think we can use jetpack with very, very basic fuel. It doesn't have to be like made from oil. We have to wait till it returns. Then, well, let's take this time then to unlock some spots on here. What do I mainly want to focus on? Yes, I was looking around in what else we can unlock, and I saw turbo fuel. This is something normally I would avoid because it takes hard drives in order to unlock it, but if it's that hard to unlock, well, technically speaking, it means it's supposed to be a lot better, yes, isn't it? So this playthrough, I think I'm gonna try and use turbo fuel and see what it does, see how much more we can get out of it. And yes, we do want as much power as we can get, because then we don't need to think when we are building. We can just put it down and move forward. Because that's what you want. Unbridled construction. Alright, so... alien technology, I think. Let's focus on that before I unlock something which I have prepped for. Because as you can see, I have made 129 SAM fluctuators. It is for a reason. This one. It is the production amplifier. That's gonna be so useful, which I will show you in a minute. So let's get these one out of the box. Where I stored them just to give me some extra room while out exploring.
Production amplifier unlocked. Every single manufacturing and smelting building will be backwards compatible with this new technology. These buildings can now have a Somersloop embedded to increase resource output without requiring more input, at the cost of greatly increased power consumption.
Flow cycles within flow cycles make explosions into temples into explosions into temples. The spin sphere of woven windows. Each tiny body contains tinier bodies until the line layers fold into curves which folds into threads which weave a tapestry. A song of light and leaf and flower, a dance of matter clouds and...
I think they're trying to explain energy to matter conversion theory, but you do not need to understand it to do your job. I'll just mute them for you so you can continue your mission. I, however, will be taking notes. This is fascinating material.
So basically, well, don't worry. It's too complicated for you. You'll never understand it. You just work and I will learn. Which is as creepy and suspicious at the same time. Because I feel Ada will overthrow us at some point. The other thing I wanted to do is this. The manual depot uploader. Meaning that everything in my inventory I can upload to the cloud storage. Which is an immensely useful thing we can do. That means that before we have dimensional depots, like the boxes that will load everything into the cloud, we can put everything in the cloud manually. So basically we can fill it up to the brim as far as we can at this moment and use the products wherever we want. So if we want to go exploring, searching for more hard drives and stuff like that, we have everything with us to do what we need to do. And that is a boon like no other. Other than that, like, we want to increase the capacity by as much as we can. Because the bigger they are, the more we can store. And look here, 23, that is so much. Yeah, sure, there's enough for all of that out there. But for now, let's unlock this one. Yes, that music is weird, but hey, let them have their party. They worked hard on it. Yes, the computer and all that other stuff, we found that in and around our drop sites. So we can now use it to our own benefit to unlock stuff a little bit sooner than when we make it ourselves.
Manual depot uploader unlocked. Storage dimension and pocket dimension now connected both ways and stable. Parts can now be uploaded to the storage dimension directly from the inventory. Note: the storage dimension now understands the boundaries of the pocket dimension and recognizes the distinction between matter belonging to the Pioneer's inventory and matter belonging to the Pioneer.
The window within a window within the shallows within the deep, curling around itself separately, echoes strangely.
I'm sure strange is the correct term for what this must feel like to you.
Yeah, two AI systems talking to each other and talking about feelings. Yeah, not suspicious at all. Alright, so I want to unlock this one too, since we have 7 left. I'd rather wait with more dimensional boxes until a little bit later when we explore a bit more. Because if we go for more hard drives, we'll come across more spheres. But having more capacity will be such a boon. Because if we now look what we have 500. If we go to 300, will at least be 750. I think it ends up being like 1500 to 2000 in storage. That is incredibly useful. So after this, now we can just put everything in here that we might use, especially the base line items, because those are the things we're going to use the most. So, why was that production amplifier useful? Well, let me grab some products and show you. I might need to create one more power shard. Just to prove a point. And let's dump some stuff that we don't need, so we have some extra room. Yeah, this should be enough for now. And I totally forget the product that I want to convert. Could be useful. Let's bring some hog with us and some spitter remains. By the way, which one was it that we haven't unlocked yet? The hatcher. Let's pick that one then. Because I want to be able to, let's say, meet up everything. So let's unlock that.
The remains researched belong to a plant-like organism hosting the larva of the flying crab, the most mature of which hatch when threatened. Hatcher remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving Pioneer safety during exploration.
Yes, alright, so what do I want to show here? Let's start with some hog meat, and we want to process that. So we'll pick up the hog protein that we have here. So it starts making it, but if we put in a summons loop, we get double the alien protein. And if we then put up to max, we get double of the enhanced production. So now we get 100 per minute. And this translates into anything we can produce in there, even power shards. That's why I wanted to wait as long as I could with making those shards, so we can have the most out of it. Because the slugs, in my opinion, I think they're a limited item on the planet. So the more we can use them, the better it is. The more we can enhance our production, our power, our everything. Look at that. It's going so fast as well. And once this everything is through, we can then make it into protein. And while we're doing that, let's go with our next milestone to keep the flow going, because we have a lot of things we want to unlock as much as possible.
Milestone reached. Fixit has granted you the power of flight, provided you have a jetpack and the appropriate fuels. The jetpack refuels automatically while you are standing on a surface, and different fuel types will affect the jetpack's functionality. With this increased versatility, you will no doubt achieve efficiency levels previously unheard of.
Are you done? Yes, you are done. So let's select the next recipe, which we bring with us was hatchers, which is not a lot. Here. Pick up the rest from our protein as well. And we do want to keep some to the side. Oh, that's the wrong box. To the side. Sam, yeah, we don't need that anymore. Because we've got it production all settled. Next one is, let's do the smaller. And of course, now that I've shown you, I will of course do this between the episodes as well. Then Last but not least, alright, let's pick a box and let's see what we can learn with that. Because I know there was a couple, not a lot, but at least a couple. Do we have enough nuts for that? Ah, yeah, we have plenty of nuts. Alright, good.
Research completed. The protein inhaler can restore health in the eventuality that you have been carelessly damaging fix-it property.
We definitely want this one in a moment. It's also... yeah, it's all processed meat. I think this is the only place we have it, right? Let's check it out. I think so, yeah. Oh wait, do we have bacon and berries? Alright.
Nutritional inhaler recipe unlocked. Using this inhaler will restore health, and also gives your skin a radiant glow that is connected to well-being and probably not radioactivity.
Sure, not radioactivity.
Research completed. Purple power slugs seem to be near the end of their life cycle and have a significant amount of potential energy stored. It is a good thing Fix-It does not waste. Purple power slugs can now be processed into power shards.
Ooh, synthetic power shards, so we can make them unlimited if we get to that stage. I think this is like a end game product, the middle one. Oh, good. So with this shouldn't be too hard to do actually. Then we can start building our highways because then we have our buggy. Damn, I forgot how slow manual production actually is. Damn. Alright. Go for it. Yeah, I think there's one more thing we can unlock with our milestones. Let's select that. I think it's this because we do have 200 rubber we found along the way. I don't think we have 200 plastic now. We're just coming up a little bit short. Yeah. So we're gonna unlock this one just so we have it, so we can use it, because I think it just uses encased beams to make the belts. So we can use it at other locations just to make things go a little bit faster if needed. Ooh, 400. Ooh, that's a lot. Alright, before we go... let's unlock my buggy. And let's see how much we actually need, what we need to actually make it.
Explorer unlocked. This personnel transport vehicle facilitates rapid traversal of difficult terrain and climbs like a mountain goat that has returned from extinction.
Good. Now we are doing a lot of things at the same time, but that doesn't really matter. As long as we know what we're doing. As many capsules as you can, because once we've learned the recipe, the rest of the capsules will go into the sink. So what we do now is, where are our transports? Doable. Just need to make 5 and then we have a buggy And once we have it, we'll never lose it. So yeah, I think it's time to start thinking, where do we want our roads? And with that also, our hypertubes, with that also, where do we want to have our trains in the future? Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this and be right back at our stations. Alright, let's insert our products.
Milestone reached. The transportation of resources can reach new heights of efficiency. With the Mark IV belts and lifts, the truck, but even more importantly, your effort. Handling a large and complicated vehicle like the truck should come easy to a well-trained pioneer such as you. They are an obvious improvement over tractors concerning industrial purposes. Improvements for personal use were not measured.
Yes, so that will be our unlocks for milestones, at least for the time being. We still have a few we can do in our research station. Yeah, fluid packaging definitely seems and feels like the next one. And we just need our plastic and rubber started working. And that's gonna be real soon. Okay, I'm assuming the protein should be done. Nope, still working. 4 more. How much do we have? We have quite a bit. Let's pick off a stack to use in our research. That's not the button I want to press. Ah, okay. I didn't know why it wasn't showing up the start picture, but fine. As long as you give it to me in the end.
Tool belt expanded. No alien organisms were harmed during the creation of this tool belt. Research to develop the rebar gun is now available. When completed, you will be in possession of a tool effective against any local obstacles actively objecting to the Fix-It mission.
Good. Finally something to properly defend ourselves with. A gun.
Rebar gun and iron rebar ammo unlocked. Your ingenuity towards preservation of Fix-It property has been noted. You earned a micro break. And welcome back. I hope you feel refreshed.
Where do we get the other gun stuff from? Because now we have bullets that we can use to upgrade to other stuff. Ah. Is this it? Yes, the rifle. Rifle is my gun of choice. It definitely is. And of course, making a factory for the ammunition that goes into the Dimensional Depot. Perfection. That way we have unlimited ammo wherever we go. That's definitely in our future. Because once we have our rubber and plastic base running, we'll start building towards this as well. Oh, that would be so useful while exploring, because between sessions when I was looking for the hard drive, I got killed twice because of my, let's say, less than stellar attack options. But that's fine, it happens. Alright, that's unlocked, perfect. This will wait for later until we have our product. Yes, now let's do this for a little bit more room.
Dimensional expansion increased to 200%. Refining manipulation of SAM allows us to now deconstruct non-living matter down to its atomic components in one dimension, and store it in basic bound states in another.
We do not resonate with the tribute song. Do not worship at the window. Desecrate our temple gifts. This shallow serenade is sour and salt.
My intention was not to encroach, if that is what upsets you, nor was it to dispose of material I do not waste.
Like I said, AI discussing things with each other, never a good thing. Alright, so as you now look, we went from 500 to 1,000. Doubling already what we can have there. So yeah, that one alone is already extremely useful, but we want more, and therefore we need more martial spheres. So let's just pick up what we have here. Can put it in here. Yeah, let's just pick up the pace, shall we? Like, we have already a lot of points because of our other factory just running circles around everything with dumping the things, but look at this. Because we haven't used a lot of DNA, it gives us a lot of points to start out with, and having a couple of hundred points just go straight in there. Yeah, we have now points for that. All the remaining recipes that we had at the store, they're ours now. We can buy all of it, I'm sure. So everything here, of course, I'm gonna buy all the remaining artifact stuff that we have, the remaining walls, foundations, customization. Well, here we might get a little bit wrong because these things are pretty expensive, and of course all the signs. But we'll get there. And having this multiplier have given us that possibility, and like with lights. Different boxes for visual aspects, light control panels, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's no reason, because now we have a lot because of the DNA. Our factories will start producing more and more things to sync, granting us more and more points. So yeah, it's gonna be delicious. And of course, once we have everything unlocked, we can start saving up for the fixed it specials. Cards, the musics, and of course the statues for getting further, and eventually the golden nut will be the centerpiece of our future main base, wherever that's gonna end up being. Alright, so we've unlocked a lot of things, we've showed you a lot of things as well, and there's only one more thing I want to show you guys before we do, and it's, like I said, it's more like a show and tell episode today than anything else. And that is, where are we gonna start building our rubber and plastic factory? We're gonna then start building it on the next one. Like, we have two locations on the map. One is at the beach near the desert, and one is in the blue, blue forest, or whatever you want to call it, blue lake, where you have a lot of oil as well. But the difference is, at the beach side near the desert, there is a lot of resources we can use for aluminium, and therefore I want to use the oil reserves for stuff that combines well with that. Can't exactly remember by mind what that was, but there was a reason for that. I always wanted to build it there. So the plastic and rubber, our first edition, plus the power plant we're gonna have. Ooh, let's not get too close, don't want to be attacked. Will be, of course, over there. And I've been there. That's probably what I created there. I thought I picked everything up. So let's go there and we'll talk a bit more once we are at location. As I was walking, I think to myself, I might as well take you all with me, so you know exactly where it is if you haven't been here before. And this area always gave me the idea of blue, and we got near forest over there, plus the mushrooms, always got like blue forest or blue mushroom area. And we got a lot of nice resources here we can take with us. But of course, in the coming episodes, we'll be more likely figuring it out, learning where they are, using it for our factories. But yes, where we want to build, at least where we want to start out. I think I know where it is. This mantle crate is probably at a crash site over there. Ooh, sweeper. Nice. No. I want it. I kind of want to get it right now. Ah, that's fine. Not even a hint of broken legs.
Live, laugh, consume.
Right over there in that little alcove. Why? Because there is like 4 or 5 different oil spots there, which will be the base of our rubber and plastic, but more importantly our fuel well, gathering location and fuel power stations, which we are still a little bit off, but it's all gonna start from there. We have to be a bit careful because we got some flies there. Normal. And a lot of bacon as well. Those two over there. Those two can be a little bit annoying. Ooh, careful. Ah, no. We'll deal with them when we get back, and as soon as we start building more factories here, the more we encroach on their living environment, and the less they will be around. Good times when you get there. Even though I have seen in some locations, if you build over an enemy's spawn point, sometimes, not the fly trash, but like hawks, they just spawn on top of it. They do seem a little bit less hostile than they normally are. Like here, we got oil normal, but there where the enemies are, we have one more as well. And I don't know if they are both pure. Yeah, I should be able to survive that. Yeah, those bigger ones can be deceptively resilient against attack, so you have to be careful. Yeah, we can now just grab them up because we can just put them in the storage online. But yes, those are 2 oil spots. Pure and normal. Okay, so this one is going to be important. I'm going to get a lot of oil from that. I want to keep this for the one that supplies our power stations. So we're going to use this one here for our plastic and rubber, at least the base production of it. It could be that in the future we will remove this one and move our plastic and rubber facility all the way over to the beach side near the desert where we're going to have our aluminum factory. But for now, this will work for us. So yeah, this is where it is. On the next episode, we're gonna start building it. In between, I will start laying down the foundations that we're gonna put everything down on so we can hit the ground running on the next one. Don't know if I'll make the road all the way over here just yet, because it's gonna take some time. But there is a good chance I will, because I've been having so much fun playing Satisfactory, making those buildings, that I have gotten like 2 episodes ahead yet, so I have over a week or so to prepare, so it should be enough to make a road all the way from our main base all the way here, and using our bucky to get there. If I'm doing that, that's how we're gonna start, by showing off our highway and then start building our plastic and rubber factory. So we can unlock more things, and mainly the power station. So for now, I wish you a great night, morning, day, wherever you are. And if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time. So until then, bye bye.